guys, I'm Esther from Spicy Vegan Food, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this delicious crispy sesame tofu. Yum, this is so good. We're going to make it in the air fryer, but you can also bake it in your oven, and I'm going to show you how to make this delicious sauce that goes on top. So let's get started. I'm going to show you how I make this. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you love vegan recipes like this one. Now first, we're going to press our tofu. So I've got one brick of extra firm tofu here. I'm going to cut it into little triangles. Now you can actually make this in just squares or whatever shape you want, but I'm going to cut this into about 10 triangles because they just look really good for this recipe and they're the perfect size. So I'm just going to cut those. You can kind of draw it out ahead of time if you're not sure how to cut it. If your tofu brick is a little bit of a different shape, don't worry, just do it something similar to this. So I've got my tofu cut into those nice little triangles, and you can see the texture there. So just a tip, if you can freeze and de-thaw your tofu before you use it, it's going to add so much texture to it. So it's got that nice, beautiful, meaty texture like you see here, all those little air pockets, which make it super delicious. So we're going to get a bowl with 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, and I'm going to get my little tray from my air fryer, which I'm going to lightly oil so that they don't stick to it. So if you have like an avocado oil spray or something, that would be perfect for that. So I've got a little bit of olive oil. I'm going to use like less than a tablespoon to just drizzle over top of my tofu pieces, because this is going to help the cornstarch stick, and it's also going to help them get super crispy. So the combination of that tiny little bit of olive oil with the cornstarch is what's going to make this tofu mega crispy, which is what we want. This is a crispy, sticky sesame tofu recipe, so we got to make sure it's crispy. Now I'm going to start by just lightly dusting each piece of tofu with a little bit of cornstarch. You do not need a thick layer, just a light basic dusting over top of each piece. So we're going to coat each piece. Don't forget about the sides and the ends, because we want those to all be super crispy too. So I'm going to do that with every single piece that I have, and then I'm just going to set those right onto the air fryer tray so that they're ready to go right in, because you know we're all about saving time here. So I'm going to grab those and I'm going to place them in the air fryer. While they're in the air fryer, I'm going to make my sauce. Now, 390 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes in the air fryer. You're going to want to flip them halfway. So start at 5 minutes, take a look at them and flip them. There's the oven bake version if you want to bake them in the ovens. As you can see, it takes like twice as long to bake in the oven. It's not quite as crispy. So if you have the air fryer, I'd highly recommend it. Now for the sauce, we got a tablespoon of cornstarch. We've got a 1/4 cup of water. And we have 3 tablespoons of soy sauce or tamari. This recipe is really easily made gluten-free. The only substitute you have to do is just switch out that soy sauce for some tamari or some coconut aminos, and you have yourself some gluten-free sticky sesame tofu pieces. Now I'm going to put in a 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup. If you don't have that, 3 tablespoons of brown sugar will do the trick. And that's going to add the sweetness to my sauce, which makes it taste super delicious and amazing. I've got 2 large cloves of minced garlic. 3 small ones would work as well, but we want a decent bit of garlic in there because it adds so much amazing flavor. And then 1/2 teaspoon of sesame oil, again for the flavor. Since this is a sesame recipe, we want that flavor. And I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of hot chili flakes, less if you don't like it spicy, more if you like the heat. And I'm going to add in a dash of cayenne pepper or hot chili powder. That's going to add a beautiful color to the sauce as well. But don't go too heavy on that if you don't like it spicy. Honestly, this amount of spice, I mean, I'm not the person to ask because I love food to be spicy, but I honestly don't think this is very much spice for the whole recipe. So we've got that sauce mixture ready to go. We're going to check on our tofu because it has been 5 minutes. So you can see it's starting to brown up a bit, starting to crisp. So I'm going to flip all my tofu pieces over. Maybe don't do it with your hand like I'm doing because this is dangerous and I could burn myself. But I've got one hand on the camera and one hand flipping the tofu, and that's what's happening. So I'm going to throw that back into the air fryer for another 5 minutes. Now I'm going to get a pan on medium heat, and I'm going to start just heating up my sauce here. Now I want to kind of cook the garlic a little bit, and I want my sauce to thicken so that it's, you know, not watery. It's nice and thick and gorgeous and beautiful. So it doesn't take long, and you can see this is starting to simmer and it's already starting to thicken up. So once you have it like this, where it's that beautiful, thick, glossy, gorgeous consistency and appearance, you know that it's ready, and you want to turn that heat right down to a simmer to warm. And at this point, my tofu is ready to go in with the sauce. So I'm going to put my tofu on that pan and right in with the sauce because I want to coat these every single side in this amazing sauce because this is what's going to make it taste so delicious. So I'm just going to keep cooking those around and make sure that they're super evenly coated, and then once they're coated, they should look like this. Look at that gorgeous color. Now that's why I recommend that dash of hot chili powder or that dash of cayenne powder. It gives it this beautiful sort of red gorgeousness to the color. Now I'm going to grab those out of the pan, and I don't want to let any of that sauce go to waste, so I am going to get that down with a spatula afterwards. And I'm going to just sort of scrape a little bit of that sauce as well on my way out. And of course, I'm going to be seasoning these with loads and loads of sesame seeds because this is our sesame tofu, and sesame seeds are incredibly good for you as well. They're delicious and they look amazing too. Now you can go ahead and serve this with some jasmine rice or some sticky rice, and you can serve it with your favorite steamed vegetables, or you can just eat it as a snack like this, whatever it is that you like. Now these do store in the fridge, however, they are a lot better when they're eaten fresh. They're not going to be as crispy if you store them. So I recommend eating them right away unless you don't care if they're that crispy. Then you can store them in your fridge for up to 5 days. Thank you guys so much for watching this video on how to make my crispy sesame tofu. If you like this video and you want to see more videos like this one, just make sure you hit that like and subscribe button below.